All right. Hello, my name's Ethan. My Physics 220 project is on uh, friction through the real world. So my plan is to go through the slides real quick, kind of explain the background, the basics. It's a really simple project, just explaining what friction is. And then at the end, I'll angle my camera down to show the actual project and what I'm working with. I will explain the materials and what's gonna happen throughout the slideshow, obviously, but I hope you can hear me well. And let's jump straight into it. All right, first is abstract. Let's move my camera down real quick. First is abstract. It's the summary of the basic of the project. So on the left, you can see the wood. It's just my table. Super like clean, obviously, sandpapered surface. It's a desk, so it's really smooth. And then next to it, I have my towel, which I'm kind of using as like a cloth so that it shows you the friction. I also have a regular cardboard piece, and then this kind of cardboard piece that I like stacked a bunch of times to kind of like make little indents that stick up. I really hope you can see it through the camera, but it's these little sprays that kind of stick up. Because I stabbed it from this other side, so the other side's flat, but then these little sprays that stick off of it to kind of show you how things get caught for friction. And how it will obviously slow it down because the two objects get caught as they're colliding and pushing against each other. And my goal is to test the force of friction. I'm gonna slide these hockey pucks across four surfaces, including wood, cloth, and then the two pieces of cardboard. One that has a little bit more friction than the other, for obvious reasons I explained, but we will see that later. My goal is to show that friction does exist, right? The object is going to slow down. It's not going to move forever. And I want to show the friction coefficient. I want to show that everything has like a different friction depending on the object. Now, yes, this will be the control. This will be the rubber. Two of these. I have two of these, and they're both of rubber. So it's going to be rubber against wood, rubber against cloth, and then rubber against cardboard. And they're all going to have different coefficients. Now let's get into it. Now, if you see on the left, you see all the ridges kind of pushing up against each other, and that's what friction is. It's these little ridges that get caught, and it's why we kind of stick to things when we move. It happens to everything. It's how I'm sitting down right now. It's how you're not sliding all over the place of where you're watching this, of whether it's on your phone and you're holding it, that's friction. It's the little things between two objects that are getting caught and allowing things to stick. It's defined as the resistance that one surface or object encounters when moving over another. Um, and it just interests me, and the reason I picked this is because it's something so small that we don't think about. Like every single thing here is getting held like by friction, right? All these things standing up, everything over there is like hooked and hung on, and they're all held by friction. I made a project very similar to this back in third grade. That my mom kind of mostly did. But I'm trying to recreate that now that I understand what it is, how important it is, and how it's everywhere. Um, and seeing how the puck is going to slide across the surfaces will show us the friction coefficients, which again is different for different materials that are getting slid across each other. And that's kind of the plan here. Uh, so the principles, that is the equation up there. Friction, so FR is friction. UK is the friction coefficient. Now, that depends on what items are, or what objects are being pushed up against each other. So mine's like rubber and cardboard. That's one coefficient. That's going to be different between rubber and cloth. That's going to be a different coefficient. And that coefficient basically determines how big the force is. Because obviously gravity is going to be a constant. And then we're going to use the same mass, right? We have the same two things, so we're going to have the same mass. So the mass and gravity should be constant for all this friction that's going to be occurring. And then compared to the friction coefficient, which is going to be different between each of the objects, each of the surfaces. And I kind of threw in that Newton's third law For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's not necessarily opposite, but there is, or it's not necessarily equal, but there is an opposite reaction. Now that's my project. I'm just gonna be pushing a hockey puck against four surfaces that I have explained, and I'll get into that real quick so I don't waste too much time. Now, yes, I have the towel right here. Now, I believe this is gonna be the object with the most friction, um, mostly because of all of these little spurs and ridges. I don't know what to call them, but little things that are sticking out across the whole table. So we're gonna try this out. I'm gonna try and throw with the same strength this whole time. It's gonna be a little hard to throw at same strength, but they're about ending up at the same place. About like right here. I don't know how I can mark that, but that's about a three-fourths, three-fourths of the table, which is great, right? Three-fourths of the table is great. Now let's jump to the cardboard, right? So that we can fill the cardboard with the holes next. Now this is it seems a little slidier. I'm starting to puff across it right now. Friction seems nice. It definitely seems first. And then the sound, let's try that. Straight off. All right, we'll do it again. There you go. Still going all the way off. Oh, that one got caught in the middle a little bit, but it's about the same strength. Um, Now this is the one with the holes. Now this is the biggest one. I kind of want to get the grab the attention on because of all these little things they're sticking up, which is gonna like stop and collide with it. Now again, same strength, like halfway. It's getting a little stuck. Let's flip this around. There you go. Let's see. Halfway. I didn't even get halfway. A little bit more, and right there. So that's like probably a quarter of the table. So originally, what was about three-quarters with the towel, and then even further with the regular cardboard. Flip that over. And this is wood. It's super easy. Now, if that blanket wasn't there, it would totally send off. There's one. It's give it a little bit more strength. That one was a little weaker than my other throws. Oh, just at the edge. So I tried my best to keep the same strength for the throws, and I had two pucks going back to back. So those two strengths were about the same to show that the friction coefficients were there and that it does differ for different objects. You could always try this at home, just use like the same object, kind of pick something flat, something that won't roll. Obviously there is friction in rolling objects, but it's not exactly the same and we'll show you the same thing. But yeah, that's my project. I hope you saw that there is different coefficients, and I hope you saw that there is friction. Things just stop. All right, it stops because of the force of friction between the two objects. It doesn't go on forever. And yes, we already know that, but it's just a great reminder because it's all around us. Thank you.